Gary Gensler, the head of the SEC, does have a point. Securities laws do protect investors to a degree. Now, I'm not agreeing how this is currently getting enforced and how Coinbase simply just gets sued without setting any clear rules, but there is room for rules also in crypto. And this does become apparent with Coinbase as well. Look at this. This is Coinbase Ventures. So this is the venture arm of Coinbase. The fund is investing into all kinds of early stage crypto projects, supporting them financially, potentially also before they've launched. And then the question is there a conflict of interest? So is there the potential scenario that you prop up an early startup, get a lot of the tokens before retail can, and then you list the token on your exchange, dumping basically your tokens on retail and letting them take the loss? It's not just a theoretical scenario. We have seen this time and time again in the Solana ecosystem. A lot of those Web3 startups had been supported by venture capitalists, and once they got listed, then all the VCs, they sold off. I'm not saying that Coinbase is doing this, but there is a very good interview made by the Wall Street Journal. I will put the link down below, where Brian Armstrong was asked exactly that question. And my impression here is that at least right now, Coinbase doesn't seem to have proper protections to avoid this scenario. But let's have a look.
Coinbase has a venture arm that invests in tokens and other things. Does it invest in anything that's traded on the platform?
I don't know actually the exact. I want to make sure I give you a specific answer, but I think most of those have been just standard venture investments in startups.
So that's not a factor in the listing decisions, is whether Coinbase has or doesn't have a position in the company or the token.
Well, we don't take any listing fees. And as far as I know, on the digital asset listing group, they don't look at our personal Coinbase venture investment. It's not a factor.
Yeah, so he's not sure. As far as he knows, it's not a factor. That doesn't sound like a Chinese wall to me, right? So in traditional investment banking, you've got separation of different entities within a bank where no information should flow. So for example, when there's a merger and acquisition happening in one part of the bank that might influence the price of a stock in the future, the trading floor is not supposed to know about this. So that's called the Chinese wall. Here we've got something similar going on, right? You shouldn't be taking advantage of your capability to list a token and at the same time prop it up early on, thus potentially inflating the valuation and creating a really bad initial setup for the retail, right? Where the price might then dump. As said, I'm not saying that Coinbase is doing this, but there is definitely the possibility of such conflict of interest. And the company has to be set up in a way that it's ensured that something like this does not indeed happen.